Kia ora, my name is Maria. I'm here with Nature Baby and SALA to bring you a short movement series working on strengthening and repairing our core. So this could be a really nice short sequence to do post giving birth. Basically we want to make sure that we are using our abdominals correctly and finding engagement rather than any sort of doming or too much gripping. So we're going to do that, a little bit of breathing to start with. We'll lie down onto our back and just resting onto the floor here. So what's really common, especially after giving birth, and your GP can check this for you, is something that happens is diastasis, which is a separation in the abdominis rectus. So it's super common, and basically we want to work on knitting everything back together with using our breath and really gentle exercise. So yeah, this could be a really nice thing to do just to work on this. But first of all, we're going to take our hands around our rib cage, so crossing the arms and sort of using your hands like little fans around the sides of your ribs, closing the eyes. Basically, I just want you to start breathing into your hands. So the first step to engaging our core muscles, and especially deeper core, is diaphragmatic breathing. So diaphragm is a big muscle, so as we inhale, it contracts, it moves downwards. And as we exhale, it relaxes, moves upwards, and you can feel those ribs close in. So rather than taking too much breath into the front of the rib cage, I want you to think about bringing that breath around to the sides and back of your ribs. So as you inhale, feel that breath come into the hands, move outwards like bellows. And as you exhale, feel everything come back in and fully relax. We'll just take two more like this. Inhale. And a full exhale. Releasing any tension from the jaw, the whole face. Cool, one more breath in. And a full breath out. Nice, hopefully we should be feeling nice and relaxed. We'll place our palms down by our sides. If you had a look at another video that I've done, it's about pelvic floor awareness. Maybe we can start to visualize some of those cues. So the drawstring effect, that gentle lift of our pelvic floor. We want to avoid a squeezing or a gripping, just a gentle lift. And at the same time, we can feel our belly button pull down towards our spine and find our neutral pelvis, so hip bones in line with pubic bone. Okay. And then from there, palms down by the sides. Core, we want to think about working our glutes too. So we'll start with some bridging before we come into anything else. Breath in to prepare. And as we exhale, tuck the tailbone, lift the hips, press the knees forward, and just start to feel the ribs wrap in, that corset effect around the waist as you lift the hips and pull the sit bones together. Take a breath in. Exhale, trickle back down. We'll just take one more here. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, scoop, tuck, roll, and lift. Good, and holding there. Okay, so we feel that strength into our glutes, part of our core, whole core cylinder. What we're going to do is cut out the articulation, so the rolling, and just take a lower and a lift. So as we inhale, we tap the tailbone down onto the mat, and exhale, drive through the heels, press the hips up. So inhale and exhale. Just coming to a range that suits you. Inhale and exhale, keeping the shoulders relaxed, pressing down through the feet. Exhale. Good, we've got 4. Lift. 3. Last 2. Last 1. And we hold at the top. Good, we're going to make our life just a little bit harder here by moving into single leg bridging. So you can take your hands a bit wider if you need to brace. Okay, firstly, all we're going to do is lift our right heel up and then place it back down. Right heel, pick it up. Put it back down. You're going to find that your left foot, left glute, left hamstring has to work a lot harder here to keep both of your hips up. Right heel, lift and tap. Lift and tap. Let's go for 4. Keep the hip lift. Let's go for 3. Squeeze into the glute. Last 2. Last 1 and hold. Good. Now from here, we can try and peel those toes up off the floor, find a tabletop, and then tap the toes back down. And then tabletop, and tap the toes. Can you keep that right hip lifting? Not too long here, and tap. Let's go 4 more. 4, relax the shoulders. You've got 3, take the energy into the lower body. Last 2. Okay, last 1, we have a hold. That could be enough for you to stay here. If you've got the flexibility, we can reach those toes to the ceiling and hold for 4, hold for 3, find that lift for 2, and 1. Bend the knee, place the toes back down, heel down. Maybe you take a little break, hips down 2. Big breath into those side ribs. And a full breath out, scoop, tuck, roll. We're going to do the other side. So let's lift the hips up, find your bridge, find a shape that you can maintain. And then all we do is start to peel the left heel up and put it down. Peel it up and put it down. Okay, right side starting to work. 4 more. 4, tap. 3, tap. 2, last 1. Hover, hold. Now we pick up the leg. Tabletop and tap. Good, hips are even. Tabletop and tap. Let's go for 4 and 3. Nice. And 2. Last 1. Hold. Okay, that right side, we should be feeling it. Option to stay. Option to extend and hold for 4. We hold for 3. You've got 2. And 1. Bend the knee. Place the toes down, heel down, roll down. Nice. Give the knees a hug in towards the chest. And we're going to take a roll onto one side. So we'll bring our knees forward, head in your hand, and just work into a little bit of side glute before we come up into a side plank. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're lifting our underneath waist. We're pressing this top hip forward and away. Knees are stacked, shin bones in line with the front of the mat. Imagine like you're sitting in a little chair. Hand can be here to brace or on your top hip. Go ahead and lift the whole shape of that top leg up and put it down. Good, so we're looking for that leg lift coming from our knee rather than our ankle. So just watch out that we're lifting from here and not lifting from our foot. We come up and down a little bit faster. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, last 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and hold. Okay, feel the toes flexed, energy through the glutes, press the top hip away, and we'll just start to do little pulses up and down, up and down. You can press into that top hand, make sure we're still lifting the waist, drawing the abdominals in, pulse and lift for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I'm going to give you an option from here. We can keep pulsing that leg, or we can send our heel out long, thigh bones in one line, pulse the edge of the foot up and down, up and down, up and down. We've got 8 here. Let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, place the knee down. Good. Let's bring the toes back behind us a little. Make a little triangle behind your knees. We'll come up onto our forearm and really making sure that our elbow is underneath our shoulder. Okay, we'll stay on our knees so we can really work into those obliques. Yep, side waist. Okay, so pressing into the knees, lifting the hips up. You can take a hand to your hip. Make sure we're lengthening from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, and reach the right arm high. We just find a nice static hold here. Focusing on wrapping that big corset around our waist, holding everything nice and tight. Breathing and lifting, and then we can add a little pulse here just to find an extra squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift. We'll do 8 of these. Let's go 8, 7. Sorry, I forgot to introduce Becky before. She's behind me on demos. 4, 3, 2, doing a beautiful job, and hold. Hips are up. Let's start to take some rotation. So your hips are the still thing, and you're going to twist through your upper body, reach under, and then rotate, reach those right fingertips high. So hips are the still thing. We're moving from our ribs and open. Let's just do 4 reach unders. 4 and lift. So good. Last 3. You can feel that little fire under the waist. Last 2. Cool, and last 1. And we'll just hold it here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Place the hips down. Good. We're just going to swing our legs around so we're still facing you. You can roll over if you like and just come onto the other side. So head in your hand, knees forward, long waist, hip stack, knee stack, shins forward. Okay, hand on hip or hand on floor. I like to place it here for support. Just go ahead and start to find your leg lifts. Mindful that we're not rocking back through the hips, we're keeping the hips forward. Cool. Up and down. We're up and down. Little bit more speed. Okay, 4 more. Let's go for 4 and 3 and 2 and hover. Hold, little pulse. We take it up, down. We're just looking for tiny movement, really feeling into that side glute. Sideways lifting and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5. Now we can keep it here, perfect, or we can extend the leg and pulse from the foot, pulse from the foot. Toes forward, we go for 8, for 7, for 6, last 5, it's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knee, close it down, toes back, come up to the forearm. All right, side plank, second side, been here before, we lift up, hips up, find the length, pelvis forward, nice open chest. Just breathing into that static hold for a moment. Once you've found where you need to be, we can give the hips a little pulse up towards our ceiling. Just think about shortening through the waist and pulse and pulse. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and hold. Hips are the still thing. We'll find our rotation. Inhale to look to where you're reaching and open back out. We're still breathing. Twist and reach. And we'll just do 4 more of these on this side. We've got 4 and we've got 3. Cool, we've got 2. Nice work, last 1. And we'll hold it here, squeeze the hips high for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and bring it down. Nice work. Okay, we're gonna come over to our hands and our knees and work through a little bit of 4-point kneeling. So in this shape, we want to feel as if, yes, we are knitting the ribs in, we're knitting the lower abdominals in. Nice strong position for our shoulders, soft elbows. So really, especially trying not to lock through those joints. Okay, fingertips are spread. We're going to press down into the left hand, right knee. Right fingertips forward, left toes back. Turn the thumb to the ceiling, and we're just looking for float. So we float and we tap. We float and we tap. And let's go for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Keep lifting the belly muscles for 4. We've got 3. We've got 2. And last one, we hover, hold, freeze, find the length, and then pulsing into the foot behind you. Maybe you take a little handshake into your right hand, up and down, up and down, up and down. Imagine I'm pulling your fingertips, pulling your toes behind you. Weight in that left hand. Pulse and lift for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And replace. Give anything you need to, a little shake. And we'll repeat that to the second side. Okay, left palm press down. No, right palm, left knee. Left fingertips forward, right toes back, thumb to ceiling, hover, hold. Okay, notice if there's any dipping in the lower back, ribs in, abs in. We take a tap and we take a float. Tap and float. We go for 8. Reach, 7, 6, 5, last, 4, 3, and 2. Last one, we hold and we reach and we pulse, we lift, we try not to move the hips. Go 8, 7, 6, 5, reach for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, take a rest. Sit back onto the heels, give your wrists a shake. So that's a really beautiful exercise for working those sort of cross slings in the body, our whole core. So Yep, we've done our glutes, we've focused on that lacing effect through the front body, but we also have to think about our core as our back as well. So our whole trunk. So we are going to lie down onto our front and just work into a few prone exercises. So strengthening our core, or our abdominals rather, in a lengthened position. Okay, so from here we can take our hands out forward. And you can have your feet separated, that's all good, pressing into the tops of the feet, so toes are really long. What we want to think about here first is kind of like pressing the pubic bone down into the mat, so you create this little kind of vacuum or hollow under the belly button. I'm going to try and maintain that as we look forward towards our fingertips. Keep the pubic bone pressing down, legs are engaged, so toes are pressing into the mat. Inhale, float the hands. And then we just try and slice the elbows back to the ribs. Inhale, reach them back forward. Exhale, slice the elbows back to the ribs. Inhale, back forward. So eyes are cast down. We want to make sure we haven't got any crinkles in the back of our neck. Glutes are working. Keep that little vacuum under the belly button. We're just coming onto that bottom rib. Exhale, squeeze. Let's do 4 more. 4. And row. Good, 3, and row. Last 2, and row. Last 1, and row. And let's just hold that there, cactus arms. Maybe you can lift the breastbone a little higher. Hold for 4, hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Hands under shoulders. Tuck the toes and just come back into a child's pose, just to release and lengthen. Nice work. Big breath in, full breath out. Big breath in, full breath out. Nice. All right, so we're back to our hands and our knees. Last one here. Tucking the toes, finding your 4-point kneeling position. So we can start to make this a little stronger, and we can test this out by making sure that the shoulders stay on top of the wrists, that we're pressing in between the shoulder blades like we're trying to push someone off our upper back. And we can hover the knees, hold, you can feel those deep abdominals, and then tap the knees back down. And then just try that again. Maybe each time you see if you can hover the knees for a little bit longer. And then making sure that the hips stay in line with the shoulders, beautiful, nice, and tap. And then hover, good, and tap. And so Becky's going to take 3 more. I mean, you can challenge how long you float your knees off the mat. Good. And last one, we're just going to hold it there. You can choose to stay in that little hover hold, beautiful, or maybe right foot steps back. Left foot steps back, high plank. And just finding that static hold. So high plank, we're using our legs, we're tucking that tailbone, we're breathing into the shape. Long backs, long necks. We'll just hold it here for 4 counts, for 3 counts. Good, looking good for 2. And 1. Nice, knees down. You can press back, take a little rest if we need to. We're just going to finish up our core repair and strengthening by coming to lie back down onto our back and work into some leg floats. So we can really choose here what we want to do with the upper body. If we're just working on really repairing, it may be the option just to keep the head, neck and shoulders down. If we'd like to work a little bit stronger, we can interlace the hands behind the head. Take a big breath in. Rather than thinking about crunching, we just think about sliding the lower ribs towards the hips. Peeling the upper back off, and then inhale to lower back down. And then try again, exhale to lift. But if you see any sort of popping up or doming, maybe it's a good sign to just keep the head, neck and shoulders down. Good, couple more. Nice, and then last one. So either holding your chest lift or head, neck and shoulders can be down. Engage the glutes, lift the heels, or lift one leg to tabletop, and then the other leg to tabletop, and hover, hold. Are you still holding onto your neutral spine? So hip bones in line with pubic bone, breathing into that shape. Maybe you can peel the shoulder blades 1 inch higher. Good, so I want to make sure the knees stay on top of the hips. And we'll just try some toe taps or femur arcs. So right toes tap the mat. Exhale, back to the center. Inhale, left toes, and center. So modifications, we can be here. Also modifications, we can have 1 foot down and just work on one leg, and then swap one foot down and work on the other leg. Yeah, so there's always a range that we can do if we feel like it's too much gripping. Good. I'm just going to take 8 more here. Let's go for 8. Let's go for 7. 6. And 5. Good. If you want to get a little further, we can take it into a single leg extension. But if that feels like it's too much work and that lever is too long, bring it back down to the tabletop. So I'm going to do 4 more here. 4. Exhale. Good, little shakes are good. Last 3. Neutral pelvis. Last 2. Last 1. Good, and then just hold it here, nice and strong for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Feet down, head down, arms down. Take the soles of your feet together, let the knees go wide. Just come into a butterfly for a moment. You have your hands on your body, by your sides. Close your eyes. And then we're letting go of any gripping, letting go of any engaging, and we're just thinking about a soft belly, soft breath. Relaxed inner thighs. Just taking this moment at the end of your session just to bring awareness back into your space, into your day. We'll take 2 more big breaths. Inhale. Exhale fully. 1 more breath in. Exhale fully. You can really stay here for as long as you like, or we can bring the knees together, give our knees a hug in towards our chest, a little massage. And any way you need to get there, coming up and off the floor. And we'll finish there. Thanks for joining.